What's up guys, SK here. Today I'm out just walking around in my local park. It's called South Oxy Park. Nobody geotag that and start trying to track out where I live, weirdos. Now, I just wanted to make just a really unfiltered vlog today. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's been going on with me lately. Because this week's been hard, man. You know, it's been like a really you know. I've been doing well, you know. I've actually been doing really well, you know, professionally, business-wise, helping clients, etc. All that stuff's been going grand. But one thing that I did realize is that, you know, you hear all these milestones of personal success and personal achievement, but then when it comes to your own internal conflicts, they never really truly go. That's what I want to talk about today. You know, I realize that I have this deep desire to be liked, and I remember from the time I was a little boy, I always wanted to be liked by the kids in class. You know, I'd even ask them, "Oh, are you my friend? Are you my friend?" And they'd just be like, "Yeah," or they'd be like, "Who's this kid?" It's been super weird, and I agree, it is kind of weird, you know, having to ask for reassurance time and time again. And you know, for anyone, or my readers who are watching this, if you've read the book Attached by Amir Levine, you'll know what sort of attachment style that is. That's anxious. You know, that's an anxious attachment style. God damn, I'm I'm out of breath just by walking up a couple flights of stairs. I mean, in all fairness, sleep quality has not been the greatest. I've been pushing myself really hard in the gym, but yeah, anyways, I digress. It's just, I've had this anxious attachment style, and I realize that even though I've done so much work in building myself up, building myself away from that, you know, like building safety barriers, mechanisms, and even, you know, sort of moving myself out of that whole bird was just about to do a strafe on me, I think. Building myself into a new form of, you know, attachment, so I've become a lot more stable. There's still going to be remnants of that deep insecurity that sort of stand there, and you know, when you're programmed a certain way based on your childhood traumas, it's so hard to shake that off, man. It's so hard to just, you know, unplug, so to speak. And how do you unplug? It's not exactly easy, is it? I mean, just look at like what you guys do in your 9-to-5 jobs, or if you're at school, for example. There's just so much stuff going on. There's so much noise. How do you just simply change your state of being? And that's why, you know, the concept of self-improvement is so huge, because you just, motherfucker just nearly ran me over. Anyways, you know, that's the reason why self-improvement is so key. So yeah, I mean, I just decided to take this day specifically as like a hallmark to take some action and, you know, change things, literally change my environment. I changed my surroundings. Instead of making a video about it in my room where I'm sat in my comfortable chair talking in front of my webcam, you know, throw up OBS and hit record and then start talking into the mic, I thought I'd change something. I changed the stimulus, I changed the environment, I changed my delivery style. And already, I'm going to be honest with you, I mean, I'm walking out here in public just talking to my screen, although I'm talking to you guys, but they don't know that, you know. Those people don't know that. Those people over there, big ass tree, they don't know that, but they don't need to. And yeah, like, it just feels so much more natural to me. That's something that I've been meaning to do for a long time. I've been meaning to become more deliberate with my vlogs, and to that note, I've been meaning to change my whole style of delivery when it comes to, you know, what I'm gonna do with my own internal healing. because it's so easy once you get into a routine, right? Once you establish that initial habit, it's so easy to just be like, all right, cool, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to journal, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to eat clean, I'm going to get enough sleep. That just becomes like habit, you know? And then it becomes routine. And the thing that's so dangerous about that is once it becomes a routine, it's so easy to just fall into like a sense of complacency, because you know, like, you're just ticking boxes off, right? You're just ticking you're like ticking off a checklist. I think Hamza even said in his latest Unfiltered video, shout out to Hamza, by the way, that boy helped me change things massively. He said, like, yeah, you know, you just get to a point where you're just like checking off boxes, and whether or not it's like the best sort of form of your self-improvement journey, you just kind of like go with the motion. You're just there like, yeah, and I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, and then that's that. Oh, nice Porsche just drove by. But yeah, you know, it's just about changing routine and doing things differently. And with this particular problem of mine, I found that I needed to change the style of approach. You know, my method of attack. I talk a lot about winning the war with yourself, one battle at a time. And this is a recurring battle of mine. This battle with self-love, you know? Because I truly have, in the last couple months, I've really shifted my energy, and I've really met some amazing people. You know, there's one person that I can just talk to about absolutely anything, and the way that we connect, it's like, you know, it's almost like the soul was split in two, and we speak the same language. You know, we understand the same. We speak the same language. You understand the same language. We share the same ethos. And that's ultimately what everybody wants to find, right? You know, when they talk about the concept of soulmates or, you know, best friends, partners, life partners, whatever it is, everybody just seeks to be understood. So one thing that I needed to do in order to help understand myself better was literally delve deeper within myself. You know, there was just something gnawing at me every time that I had the reoccurring feeling of, oh, I don't really know like what I'm doing. Why do I keep feeling this way? You know, I'm doing things to improve. I'm doing things to sort of push myself out of my comfort zone. And I'm great at doing that now. I'm literally here in public, just talking to a camera. But it's great. I mean, I'm not fazed at all. One thing that did keep coming up was, why do I have this deep, innate desire to want to be, you know, accepted by everybody? To be accepted by the masses, to be accepted by particular person, and just be, you know, love me. I definitely have changed the way that I go about it, whereas before I was just very, very chaotic. I just put it on the person and become very needy and just not nice. But I decided to just fuck man, let's get to the point. Sorry, if you guys have made it this far, I applaud you, because you've just listened to me chat shit. Well, not really chat shit, I'm just building up the story and the premise of what this whole vlog's about. But, you know, literally it's just about me taking charge and taking the approach to tap into myself. And what I did just now, just a couple minutes ago, actually, I was sat in this cafe after I just finished read through Can't Hurt Me. Been reading through it again because that book is honestly phenomenal. That stuff is also just life-changing. I highly recommend anybody who's delving into self-development, if you want to learn about pushing your barriers and understanding, you know, what your walls are and breaking through them, get David Goggins's Can't Hurt Me. That book will change your life. You know, and you don't even have to be someone who's served in the military to get it. You know, the battle in your mind, the war that we all fight, that's something that everybody has. You know, I say this, and it's not to sound like all cringy, like, oh yeah, here we go, you know, trying to promote this whole like military ethos or whatever it is. But no, there is like a soldier in all of us. We're all striving and fighting to be the best versions of ourselves, to become something greater to defy the odds, right? Like myself, I was always told, yeah, you know, you'll never make it, for example. Be a soldier, you're just a skinny brown kid, like what are you gonna do? That was my narrative, and I truly internalized that, and I made that my war, I made that my battle. And part of that battle was the constant need for acceptance, the need to be loved, the need to be accepted by people. So I was in this cafe and I wrote a letter to myself. I wrote a letter to me as I currently am. You know, most of my friends call me SK, so I addressed it to SK, or as I call myself, Shrav. You know, just like a nickname. Like, and this is what my close friends and family call me, right? Shrav. So I addressed it to Shrav, and I just wrote this extremely personal, deep letter, just forgiving myself. And yeah, I mean, I'm still feeling it, you know. There's just a lot of stuff that just came out, stuff that I obviously, like, I knew consciously, and it's, you know, embedded in the back of my subconscious mind, but I didn't realize just exactly how much that stuff was really eating at me, you know, like almost on a daily basis, but subconsciously, because most of the stuff that happens, you don't even know it's subconsciously there. You're just like, oh, I'm feeling this way again. Oh, okay, well, ignore me, you know, I'm feeling bad, or I'm on a high, or whatever it is. But no, bro, like, you're feeling the way you're feeling because of something that's seated so deep inside you, and that's what's, you know, the catalyst that's constantly triggering that emotion. That's what triggers our patterns. And so I had this all come back to me, and I realized, you know, a lot of it was to do with, like, my parents' divorce, the constant, like, vying for attention and affection from both sides. And one party was a bit more, let's just say, militant than the other, in the way that they tried to, you know, invoke loyalty and bring me around, so to speak. And I wrote all that down. I wrote it all down. And it's not, you know, it's not to sort of validate and give rise to bad behavior. Like, I know for a fact, like, in my life, I know the difference between, okay, I'm feeling a little insecure, and so this is how I am, as opposed to just using that as a means to validate bad behavior, you know, to justify bad behavior. There's a big difference between that, and it's important to understand that, because you as a person, you are not defined by, you know, your gain in life. You're not defined by your material possessions. You're not defined by all the accolades you achieved. Yeah, sure, it's a great thing if, you know, like, say you get like an MBE or something, right? Like, look at Barack Obama. All the other influential figures of the world, Nelson Mandela, you know, there's so many to just think of, but you get the point. The thing that people remember you for are the words that you speak and the actions that you take. And that's something that, you know, rarely is heavily influenced by your state of mind. And your state of mind is influenced by your emotional well-being. And your emotional well-being is influenced by the actions that you take. So you see how it creates, like, this feedback loop, right? It's your actions and your words, which are all underpinned by how you conduct yourself based on your response to emotional trauma. And for me, this method of writing into a journal, writing a letter to myself, was so powerful, because it's almost like, for anyone that's a Marvel fan here, if you've seen the show Moon Knight, you know how you have Steven and Mark, and that's basically like their split personalities. Same body, two different personalities to help them, deal with their understanding of like real-time events. And it's kind of like that in this case. It's like your inner child talking to you as an adult, because you as an adult, you've spent a lot more time in the world, and you've spent a lot more time able to understand and digest things as you see it, and you've got more experience with these situations. But deep down inside, we're all just grown children. That's the big thing to take away and to understand. We're all just big grown children, and it matters. It's like all the things that we get exposed to are the things that we remember. Those are like the ingrained memories, and then they get compounded as we grow older. When you're a adult, you just respond a little differently, but society draws this fine line between here's an adult, here's a child. And now there's more understanding with mental health, mental health awareness, just how your childhood, it's like 90% of your life is dictated by experiences you've had in your childhood. So if anyone out there is struggling with just recurring, traumas, whether it's mental, emotional, whatever it is, if you're struggling with that on a recurring basis, if you just can't seem to get out of this rut, or if you enter this perpetual cycle of I'm okay, I'm up, and then something happens, then you're down, or you just hit a point where you're just like, I feel fine, like me, I feel fine, but obviously something else, like there's something like, it's like something's missing. There was like a disconnect, right? Because I want my future relationships with people, and my relationship with myself, most importantly, which affects my relationships with people, to be the healthiest they can be. So in order for me to do that, I need to address this core issue. And sometimes you have to do that in a very diversified way. So I highly suggest anybody trying, writing a letter to themselves. But before you do that, I would like you to really think hard about what it is that causes your triggers. And you just have to open up, man. You have to just let yourself be vulnerable. If you end up crying, if you need to stop, I needed to stop writing after every sentence. I almost brought myself to tears a couple times, and it's good, it's natural, it's to be expected, because that means it was real. If you're in that situation, you're definitely on the right path to recovery, because in order to heal those emotions, you've got to release those old emotions, and then you can fill yourself up with the new emotions. So yeah, that's just a little impromptu vlog that I wanted to share with you guys. And as always, man, keep pushing, guys, keep separating, keep elevating. SK out.